weekends, and once again, it is time for Lunch with Carole. Every week, we get to meet people who inspire us, enlighten us, and really just make Milwaukee a better place. And the man you see with me right now, his name is Clayborn Benson. He happened to have been a photographer at WTMJ, or TMJ4, I should say now. It was WTMJ back then, for almost 4 decades. Unbelievable. And he founded the Wisconsin Black Historical Society. He is an expert in all things history in our city. And many people, as you've probably seen him, talk to him before, but we turn to him as an expert. Claiborne, thank you for joining me this
I'm
afternoon.
honored, Carol. Thank you very much for having me. I'm not sure I deserve to be on this program or not, but I'm happy to be
Are
here.
you
Thank you.
kidding? Claiborne, really? You know what? I have always been amazed at what you've been able to accomplish outside of your regular job. I mean, you
Yes,
you founded the Wisconsin Black
I
Historical
did
Society.
from scratch, and more
You
than that, I did as a student at UWM. I wrote a grant to do a film about the history of African Americans in the state of Wisconsin. No other student has done that, and from the National Endowments of the Arts, and it it aired on TMJ, but Channel 10 and a number of other outlets. But it really is the stable piece that looks at the history of African Americans in the state of Wisconsin. So little is done about it,
Well,
and
it's
so
something
I
we
took it over
need,
to do it.
and our history is so important
It is.
as we all know. And the beautiful thing about you, Claiborne, is that you have been able to do this and accomplish this all while you had a full-time job and you were a photojournalist
I
here.
did.
And I was always amazed at because most people, when they're in television news, and I can tell all of you out there who are listening, we don't have a lot of time.
No,
Time is just not part of your life. So how
no.
you were able to accomplish this is beyond my ability, but a lot of it is just your passion, Claiborne.
Well, in much of my passion, but the station was helpful too. I mean, I clearly
Yeah,
told them
that's
what
good.
I was doing, and they were able. Lou Jack and others helped me and gave me time to do the work that I needed to do. And this was also a time in which I was doing sports and nothing but sports. So going to school and doing this was within the scope of what I was supposed to be doing. So God blessed me with it, and I am here. I am. What is it? 50 years later.
It's really amazing when you think about it. And the museum founded in 1987.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
been going strong. Just about, most of us know about it and know what
Right.
you have done and given the community. And, Claiborne, when I think about you and I think about how many people come to you for advice or
They
for
do.
information, and we learn so much from
Mhm.
your expertise. This Black History Month. We have a lot of people right in our area that a lot of people just probably don't even think about that really deserve a salute during this month. Can you share a couple of those people that you've talked about, but maybe the public doesn't know about?
Yeah, well, we're looking at a picture right behind me now, Miss Audie Halliot. Miss Audie Halliot, her and her husband, mostly her, of course, started Columbia Savings and Loan, and they tried to get housing developments built. Mrs. Audie Halliot funded the Halliot Park area over near Sixth Street. There, you see that subdivision of ranch style homes. Mrs. Audie Halliot was in the makings of that. They named a street and a whole area in her honor. She's done so many things, her and her husband. But the purpose was in 1932 or 1923 when they started it was to encourage African Americans to purchase their own homes, to buy the American dream. And that was her goals and objectives. Uh, she served on the NAACP. She coordinated things between the national NAACP and the local NAACP. She created the new NAACP office there in Kenosha and revised that in the Racine. She was a bigwig nationally and locally.
Yeah,
She was significant and important. And when the NAACP national office sort of outlawed or said that they didn't want to support um, the Amos and Andy show, she went on the rampage and even made Channel 4 and other stations in the state to discontinue the using of the Amos and Andy programming because they felt that the Amos and Andy program was not worthy of our accomplishments. It was a joke. So she
Wow.
did a lot for this community. But there were other people like Dr. Edgar Thomas. Uh, he is the first pharmacist and had a pharmacist business in the early 1920s. Was a businessman, real estate person, and a medical doctor, and also a socialist. And people could come to them and get aspirins and other medicines just for the exchange of services or chicken. Uh, Dr. Edgar Thomas was quite
That's
progressive.
fascinating.
His daughter goes on to be the first African American female pediatrician in the state of Wisconsin and becomes nationally known. Dr. Edgar Thomas, more than being a medical doctor, he was a businessman. He goes as far as selling real estate and doing and organizing other businesses to create a business zone there in the central city. Two interesting people.
Yeah, Claiborne, I think when we think about these pioneers and trailblazers, we forget sometimes that often our biggest role models are those who are closest to us,
Yeah,
those we have been able to meet and talk and be
yeah,
with. And I think that is so important for our young people to realize the
yeah,
power of entrepreneurship, of owning a home, of the American dream, and most importantly, of education.
yeah.
Speaking of education, I can't help but to point out that you have decided, and you're in your 70s. Do you mind if I say that?
I am. I'm pretty old. What can I say?
No,
But
but you know what? You are going back to school to get your master's, and I love people that are committed to lifelong learning. Can you talk about why you decided this was something important to you?
well, I like learning. I mean, I like learning every day. I mean, it's like fresh air. It's like, of course, I've been back now for a year and a half, and I'm facing my greatest challenge even today with the class that I'm taking, and so it's tough, but it's refreshing to learn something different and to learn. Uh, what others are thinking and how methods and how our society work. I thought that I knew it all when I knew history, but little did I know there's so much more to learn, and I find it challenging to learn every day, and so it's there it is. It's on me, and I'm doing it. And I'll do it as long as I can.
That's so smart. And the wisest people know that we learn the most by finding out and remembering that we don't know everything.
We
So we have to keep
I
that
do.
in mind and keep our brains agile. So I plan on
every
going to school.
I learn something every day. Even
Yes.
just walking through this building, I learn something every day. Picking up an old newspaper that is sitting in the wrong place, I learn something every day. Rereading books, I learn something all the time, and I love it. It's so important, and it's equally as important the opportunity to share that information with the general public so that they too can grow from their learning possibilities.
Well, maybe that's why you look so young, Clayburn, because,
Oh,
I
thank you.
think keeping your body young with exercise and your brain young with keeping that mental stimulation as well as learning, I find it just one of the most important things we can do. And I think
It is.
sometimes people forget and they think, okay, I'm done. And we should never be done learning. So
You're never done.
yes, and we should continue on. And that's what keeps us connected. Because if
Yeah.
we think that we want to become insulated in our own little world, then we can't reach out, and humanity really
Yes.
is doomed, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But now, Claiborne, okay, now do you miss being a photographer? Yes,
No. No, I don't.
it's hard.
Every now and then I dabber in it and think I can do it, but I can't do it no more.
I know. Well,
That
it's
was hard
physically.
work. Uh, that was really hard work. I mean, no, I don't miss it. I miss meeting people. I miss to travel because I did lots of traveling.
Yeah.
But no, I think I'm done with that. I mean, I'm a historian now, and so I can't do that. But
Yeah.
no,
Well,
I
you're
don't.
an expert.
I don't
Our
miss.
bodies won't let us.
I don't miss it.
Well,
I
but you
can't
know
do it.
what? You did impart a lot of wisdom when you were here and a lot of knowledge, especially to the new reporters and the people like me when I first came here. So it was
Thank you.
important having people like you in our midst kept us grounded in understanding the perspective of the stories that we cover.
Right.
So I think that's very important. And bless you for being able to continue to educate and enlighten us. Now, how are things going at the Wisconsin Black Historical Society Museum? I know it has just been thriving, but it's still a difficult task to undertake.
The phone's ringing every 10 minutes. People get inside of the month of February and realize that they need some sort of Black History program. And so that's why I come to the rescue. And that's what I do is I share historical facts with them and tell them people that can come and to share that history with their class, with their groups, and myself go in and share. We talk about to them what's significant about Wisconsin and why Wisconsin need to be considered in their Black History programming. Most folks want to do Martin Luther King, but they truly don't understand the contributions of Martin Luther King. We talk about what is Kwanzaa. We talk about Juneteenth Day. We talk about Freedom Summer. We talk about King, and we talk about Black History Month. Those are the primary things that we do. And we share how those things are unique to Wisconsin and why they should know them.
Well, you're a vital resource to many teachers in our area, especially for the NPS students and kids outside of NPS
Yes.
who people want to bring their kids and their families. Now, Clayborn, after all these years, and I think that both of us are, as we continue to gather more wisdom, let's put it that way, or as
Yes.
we become vintage,
Yes.
so to speak. Is there anything you would like to share with people about what we need to, we've seen a lot of changes and we've seen the world evolve and change in many ways. What's on your mind right now as to a
Well,
message you would like to let
I,
people
I
know?
would say that if people are concerned about change, they should not be, because change will continue to occur. It will always change. Nothing will stay as it is now, and there will be an evolution change. And so I'm just trying to think about that change, that word change, because that's like breathing in and breathing out. It's like
Right.
natural perception that we should expect and see. There will be change. The landscape always change. Um, uh, and I think it's important for people to change along with it or create those changes so that it will be suitable for us to live in those environments and conditions. African Americans are an important part of this community. We're going to always be here. So we need to uh, work on collaborations and working together with groups of people to make things happen in our benefit as well as the community's benefit.
Yeah,
So
because it's really everybody's benefit,
it
if
is.
we work together, because
That's right.
otherwise we perish. If
Change is
we are
change is inevitable.
it is important, and hopefully good change and positive change. There's been a lot of things happening, but your museum is a staple there at 27th and Center, and it's been there. It's a place where people carry on debates. We get to see history and performances, and most importantly, you're a gem to the community, Clayborn.
Well,
And
thank you.
you,
Thank you. God has blessed me with this knowledge and this ability, and I continue with the learning process. I respected our community's history, and as long as I can, I'll be here to share it with the greater community. So I thank you for having me and the community for uh, trusting in this institution and me and eventually my daughter to be able to preserve and share this history with each of us.
well, we are honored that you're a trailblazer, a pioneer, and you're here in the Milwaukee area and in our community. I appreciate you being with me for Lunch with Carole. And if you happen to be watching Positively Milwaukee on Sunday mornings at 9, you might just see Clayborn pop up because I'm going to follow him to class at UWM.
It's
And
all right.
I want to get that other side of that story.
We're looking forward to that. Thank you.
Clayborn, thank you for being with me. And of course, you have not heard the last of me. And thank you all for listening for Lunch with Carole. And we will be back here next week. Have a great day.